Welcome to Charter Communications Local Edition. My name is Mark Staples, I'm your host. This is a series of interviews with legislative and government leaders from across the state of Montana on the issues of our day. And we are broadcasting today from the state capitol in Helena in the third day of the 2015 legislative session. And my guest from Hungry Horse and Bedrock Canyon, Montana, in her sixth session of the legislature between the House and the Senate, is Senator Dee Brown, from Senate District 2 in Flathead County. Thanks for coming, Dee.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, you're a veteran now. Do you think?
That's why I have so much gray hair.
Oh, well, I don't know about the gray hair, but I know you have a lot of experience. And what committees did you end up on because of that experience?
I was chosen by my caucus to be part of the team of 6 to choose everyone else in the Senate, except for the top leadership positions. I was chosen to be on committees, and I also will chair state administration, where I chaired the interim SAVA committee, and I will serve on highways and transportation and business and labor this session.
Now tell me, as the chair of state ad, what is state ad? What kind of bills do you hear there predominantly?
You know, we have oversight for the executive branch. We also hear election bills. We hear pension bills, which are a big issue in the state of Montana. And we also listen to veterans issues in Montana.
And anything that you, as the chair of that committee, are going to bring before your own committee? You got anything in the hopper that you're...
Well, you know, as chair of the SAVA committee, oftentimes the chair brings forth committee bills. And I will be presenting a couple of bills from my committee that were voted on unanimously. One that I will be presenting this week is how we choose a commissioner of political practices.
Aha, yes. And what is the bill proposed to do that isn't being done now?
Well, right now the governor can pretty much pick the commissioner, and the last few have...
Subject to the approval of the Senate.
Right, but the last few have not been approved by the Senate. So we're trying to get that more of a nonpartisan issue, and we decided that we would choose a committee to give some ideas to the governor, which is
done in a lot of other fields.
Well, the chairs of the House minority, majority, the Senate side will offer a slate of candidates, and hopefully there will be one there that the governor would choose so that we could all decide to affirm the new commissioner.
I think that's done in a lot of different spheres that I'm aware of, including judicial appointments. What else have you got as for constituents? Because as a chair of this committee, you're going to be dealing with statewide issues, but you're still the senator from Bedrock Canyon, so your first emphasis is usually your own constituents. Anything else you're carrying for the Flathead Valley in your Senate district?
Well, you know, I'm carrying my Canada Trade Center bill.
Now you speak of that as if I would know what that is.
Well, last time I had a resolution.
Oh.
And it was very nonpartisan. Everyone agreed that it would be a good idea. It was not funded to put an office in Calgary. So this time I decided that we needed to encourage a more voluntary
way. This would be a Montana-Canadian
it should. And
partnership?
The Canadian dollar was the one that saved us, especially in the Flathead and the northern half of Montana, in that recession of 08 and 09. Canadians want to come here. We speak the same language. We have a lot of common bonds. And I think that if we had a trade center in Calgary, we could not only promote tourism.
State of Montana would have it.
State of Montana, but also ag and every other venture that we as Montanans could produce and give to our consumers.
Will there be a cost to it?
You know, there will be a cost to it, but I believe with...
Did you get in the budget?
I haven't yet, but I believe we can.
Okay.
I think with the increased accommodation tax, I believe that we should use some of that money to promote statewide in one office for every part of Montana, and I think the accommodation tax, a small percentage of it, should go to that office.
What about the governor's infrastructure bill? that blends both bonding and cash for a broad spectrum of infrastructure improvements across the state of Montana, including a museum across the street here, and lots of places. You got a thought on that?
You know, I don't know about museums, but I do know there are infrastructure needs in Montana. Over 2 million visitors cross the South Fork Bridge out of Hungry Horse. It's a terribly dangerous bridge, 2-lane, built in the 30s. There is some idea that we're going to have one in the next couple of years, but Montana is this huge state with many, many highways, bridges, and infrastructure needs. I think it depends on the money that's going to be spent as far as bonding. I'm not a big person to vote for things that are going to put a lot of credit card debt out there for the state future taxpayers. But I think that we can work something out that will be agreeable to the governor and to the caucus.
90 days from now, we wrap up. And hopefully you're as perky then as you are now. Everybody's perky on the third day.
We are.
Yeah, everybody's happy. The honeymoon is on.
Yeah.
90 days, you're driving away, you're going back up to the God's country and the Badrock Canyon. What do you hope to have accomplished?
Well, first of all, I would like to accomplish that I represented my Senate District 2 very well. I meet with them, anybody that wants to. I write a lot of letters home. I answer emails. I call people. We may not agree on every issue, but I hope I explained a position well enough that they at least could see my side.
Well, I've watched you for years. You do a heck of a job,
Thank
and
you.
I wish you best of luck in the session. And I hope that drive home 90 days from now is a pleasant one. You can look back and say you served your folks well. I know you'll try.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, and thanks for tuning in. Senator Dee Brown from Flathead County, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks, Mark.
You too.
Appreciate it.